This is video 3 of the 3-part set of videos to show you how to do exercise 1 of databases. Now, we've done the first 2 videos so far. So we've done the bit where we created the database, we did this first report, and now we're going to look at the last report. So in this report, we've got all of these bullet pointed things that we need to do. It says contains a new field called discount, contains a new field called sales price. So these are fields that don't exist. Doesn't mean that we add it to the table, but it means that we need to make it as part of our query. It says has the discount and sales fields set as currency with 2 decimal places. Okay, so this kind of stuff we could probably do in Sheets. Now, we could have probably done actually some of that up here, but it wasn't specifically asked in the query, but we were supposed to have our price as a currency. So if I look at my file here, of course, we did want these probably to be currency, but that's not, we're not worried about that for the moment. If we're specifically asked in the question, then we can do it. Okay, so with this, you can see I've got here has page orientation of portrait. So this is where I'm going to have to make a different document. Okay, so this one's finished. This one from our second report. So I've done that one. So this is my exercise 1 evidence file. So exercise 1, I'm just going to call it exercise 1 part 1, and then click off that, just make sure it says evidence saved and close it. And then if I go to here, I can just add or create another doc. So I've got that first one that's uploaded there. You can see the name hasn't changed, but it will change eventually because I've just saved it, and it'll just do that afterwards. So I'm going to create a second document here. I'll leave that for the moment. And we're going to go down and do this bit. Shows only the records and shows only these fields. Okay, because this is kind of like the first bit you almost need to do. So we'll start with this bit here. Shows only the fields, salesperson, and so on. Okay, so we've got our SQL statement here. This is the one from video 2. If I just go over to this little button and press that, I can do a new one. Okay, so we can double click on it and give it a name. So in this one, it says the title Sales Record for Geldorf. So you'll find with these exercises, it's quite good to read through the whole exercise a little bit first, just to get a kind of overall idea of what you need to do in the actual, for the actual report, because it can get a bit confusing, like not doing it sequentially. But this is the way it's being asked in this. Okay, so shows only the fields for salesperson, model. Right, okay, so I'm going to start off straight away. Select, and it was salesperson. There you go. Salesperson, model, price. Now, we've got one called discount. Now, I'm going to write it in, but we're going to have a problem with this because this one doesn't exist. And then it says dates underscore sold. That one does exist. And then we got sale price, which also doesn't exist. Okay, so I'm just writing them in, and sold, which does exist. Okay, and we can, if I just open this up a little bit bigger so you can see all of it, just go across there, and then say from, make sure you're doing it the right way, from our database, our table, so JX II cars. Okay, so now if I run this, it says that we've got no such column, discount. So it hasn't even told us about sales price because it's got to this first one, discount, because it doesn't exist. So this is where we're going to now make that one discount. So what we can do here is we can now just, every time you've got a comma, you can put this on a new line. So we'll do this one specifically on a new line and put date sold on a new line, do sales price on a new line, and then sold on a new line. So we're not doing it for all of them, but we're doing it for some of them, okay? Just gonna bring this down a little bit. Now, what we need to then think about is this discount. So if we go to the top of our report, this is where you can see it contains a new field called discount, which is calculated at runtime. So when we run it, this one discount is made and does this calculation. So what does it need to do? It'll be price multiplied by discount applied. Okay, so price multiplied by discount applied. So what we need to do is, on front of it, we do price space multiplied by discount applied, and then space as discount. That's the line that you have to do. So if I now run that again, now you can see it says no such column sale price, because this one now works. Right? That one works. So now down to sale price. So sale price is this one here, and in our document here it says sale price, which is calculated at runtime. This will be the price minus the discount. Problem. Price exists, but discount is only run as part of this query, so it's not a field that actually exists. So this is a little bit weird, but what you got to do is price minus price multiplied by discount applied, essentially. That's the only way we can do this, because we can't do price so the other way. So price multiply or subtracting, so price minus price multiplied by discount applied, so as the same as above. So we're basically doing this one and just putting it down here as well, because we can't use discount. If you try to do price minus discount, it's just not going to work as sale price. Right, now I'm going to run it. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. So if I have a look at this, I'm still getting 840 rows. So that is like all of my rows. But am I getting sales price? Yes. Am I getting discount? Yes. Discount is showing here. Okay, so it's showing that I'm getting 0 discount here, 650 discount. You just want to check that this is correct. So this is 13,000 for this car, and here it's down to 12,350. So that is minus 650. So that is the discount, and that's how much it costs. Okay, so you just need to double check those things to make sure that's right. So that's the first part of this. So just make a note and make sure you can see how we've done that bit there. So we've created a new field. This one, discount, does not exist. If I go to my browse data, it is not in here. You can see it. I've got discount applied, but there is no discount. Yeah, discount and sales price does not appear in my database at all. So back to this, what else do we need to do? So we've done the first two columns, and it says has the discount and sale price field set to currency, so we'll think about that later. Has a page orientation of portrait, we'll do that later. Shows only the records where sold is yes and sales were made in 2012, and the salesperson is Geldorf. So this is a good part of the query, which will cut this number from 840 to, I don't know how many records, but we'll maybe get 20 records or something like that. So just the same as we did in the first report, we write where. Okay. Now it says you got to make sure you really read this properly. Okay. So shows only the records where sold is yes, and then this comma. So this means an and sales were made in 2012 and salesperson is Geldorf. Now this is something loads of students make a mistake on, because they don't think about how this is how, because this is written in plain English, so this means this and that. So we're using and operators for all of these, okay? So I'm going to say where shows only that record where sold is yes, okay? So sold is equal to, and sold, if I remember right, was an integer and it was -1, meaning that it was sold. Okay, so then I leave a space and put and date sold. Now, the date says sales were made in 2012, so that is the date sold. Okay, so sales, date sold. Now, this one in 2012, how do we do that? Well, there is this thing called between that you can do, and you can between one date and another. So you can say I've got 2011 in here, and some of them will be 2012. Let's scroll down far enough, really far. There you go, 2012. So I could do between the 1st of January 2012 and the end of December 2012. But what I could also do is a sort of wildcard search. Just search for if it contains the number 2012. So what I will do here is I'll say date sold is equal to, but this time I need to put, sorry, not equal to, it's not, sorry, it is like, and this is our like, which is like a wildcard, which lets us do lots of different operators. And this is specific to SQL. So what I want to do is just say if it contains 2012. Now, when I do the like, I need to do quotes, and I then do the $sign, not $sign, the percentage sign. Now, this doesn't have anything to do with the percentage sign in Python, which you all remember is to do modulo. This is to say anything. In this case, it's kind of like saying anything. Okay, so anything 2012, then percentage sign and quotes. Okay, and I'm going to try this out now. Just run it. Okay, so I get 365 so far. Now, other people have seen in databases where you might use a star for this, but if I run it, it doesn't work, right? So this where you use stars has been used sometimes in as a sort of anything or everything, but in this case it's not going to work for that. Okay, so you can see it is the percentage sign on either end and do that. Okay, so you have to be very specific and just try it every time. Just try it. So look, under my sold, all my sold are -1s, and all my dates sold are 2012. Okay, so this is our query that we're wanting to do. Right, what else do we need to do in this? The last one was shows only the records, right, and then 2012, and salesperson is Geldor. So we do have salesperson here, so I'm going to do an and. Salesperson is equal to, and in quotes, just make sure you write the name correct, Geldorf. Bob Geldorf. All right, so there you have it. 12 records. Okay, that's brilliant. So we've got 12 records for this. Okay, so what else do we need to do? That is almost this query finished. It's sorted in descending order of model. Okay, so it's not at the minute. So we will do order by model, ascending. Right, run that, and then you see micro. Just gonna make this a bit bigger. There you can see micro, micro B, micro eco, micro SE, micro Z. All right, so it's according to that one. That's great. Right, the next bit, calculate the total value of these sales and place this value. So this is something that has to be done because we want it to kind of be at the bottom of our query. So that has to be in our report, which we'll have to then do as a spreadsheet as before. And it says put these into currency formats, includes these labels, includes the report title, has the name on the left at the bottom of the report. Okay, so now what we want to do is export this. So I'm going to just show you how to do that again. So I've got this one down here. So here I just want to click on this one here, export to CSV, say next, and we wanted to call it sales record for Geldorf. Export complete, there it is. Now I need to go to my next document. So there, you can see it says exercise 1, part 1. So I'm going to open up this one now. Now I've got this spreadsheet open. I can just get a new one. So I've still got this one open. Let's just do new. New sheet. Now these sheets are actually saved into your Google Drive as well. So you've got to remember, you can always access these at a later date. So I've got this new document here. I'm going to call this exercise 1 part 2. Okay, so we had to put a title in this, and it was sales record. Sales record for Geldorf. Just make that, bold it, do it a little bit bigger. Okay, so it's already in portrait, which is good. Got my new spreadsheet open, so I'll close this one. I don't need it anymore. And this one I need to then import. Same document, same as we did before. So select it or drag it. So it was sales record for Geldorf. Upload that, it'll come up with the same message. We didn't need to change anything here. Import. And should be in. Now, this is where we can do some of the bits that we didn't do before, actually in the first report. So the discount and sales price. So if I just bring this over so you can see it, discount and sales price here, calculated at runtime, and then it says has the discount sale price failed set as currency with 2 decimal places. Okay, so discount, I'm going to select these ones, discount, and then up here, currency. So I go to these numbers, and I've got euro comes up here. Now, if euro doesn't come up, pick more formats and more currencies, and then you can find it somewhere in the list. I'm going to apply that. So that is 2 decimal places there. Sales price as well, do the same. So euro. Okay, good. That's that done. Calculates the total value of these sales, the total value of the sales, and places this value below the sale price column. Okay, so here. So this is where I'm going to do the total value of these, right? So now we do a formula equals sum, and you can see it's even offering me to do a suggestion, F2 to F13, which is exactly what I want to do. So I'm just going to press that and press enter, and there it is, and it's even done the currency and everything for me. All right, so people at Google are very clever. They put a bit of artificial intelligence in there for us, and it says then on this document that has the total value formatted as currency, 2 decimal places as well, includes the label to the left of that value of the total value of the sales, right? Okay, so includes the label to the left of the total value of sales. Total value of sales. Okay, so I'm going to put it maybe here, total value of sales, and that I can maybe just combine those two fields, right, merge, make it set right, red-lined it. You have it. Okay, done. So now just copy this like we did before. Copy. And then I go to my exercise one, this one, paste, paste unlinked. Right, so just paste the information in. There we go. Pretty much done my new report. Last thing, has your name on the bottom left corner of the report. So at the very bottom, just double click, and put your name. There we go, it's all done, ready to go. Okay, so if I'm finished, I can close it or I can press turn in. You can see here. Now when I turn that in, that means it goes into Google Classroom. So you can just see this coming up, what happens. And that means I'm actually handing it in. So I've just finished everything. Now, if I didn't want to do that, I can press cancel, of course, and go back here, and I can just make sure, double check that I have done literally everything in this. And that's probably the best idea, that you always do double check it and just make sure it's all done. And then I can close it as long as it says all changes saved in Drive. I can close it and close this one. Go back to Classroom. I can see these now. It hasn't changed the name, but if I refresh the page here, it'll show you, it says exercise part 2. Okay, so I've done that bit. Now, did I forget anything? Yes, I did. I forgot to do the screenshots as my evidence. Okay, so that's why it's always good to double check everything first. So back into here, and I just need to do a screenshot of this. So select all of that. There it is, screenshot. As I say, if you're doing this on a Windows machine, there is snippet tools which you can use. So I'm just going to go above here, insert image, upload from computer. Make sure I get the right one now, because I've got a few screenshots. Yeah, I think it's this one, yeah. Choose that. And then you can put before it evidence. Sorry, exercise 01, evidence again. Then of course this needs to go on the next page. That's my report. And there it is down there. Brilliant. All done. Now, as long as it says all changes saved in Drive, you can close it and then do all your checks, make sure you've done everything. If you've had any problems, you can write a little comment in here, of course. And if you haven't and you're all done, you're finished, hand in the work. You've handed in 2 documents that have your evidence and has this in it too.